Every group of friends has a commander that is gutturally hated. In my case, my folks hate my favorite commander, Wilson, the refined Grizzly. Greetings players and welcome back to a new video. I'm your host Garlic Bread, and in today's video I will share with you the top 5 most hated Wilson deck by my friends. Hope you can take inspiration. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and comment which commander is the most hated by you and your friend group. Let's jump right into the video. At number 5 we have Giant Grizzly. This is a new entry in my roster of decks and still needs some tinkering, although it's really a promising deck. Usually the main issue of Wilson is the lack of skill in the mid-late game. For this reason, by pairing Wilson with Raised by Giants, we will transform our Bear Warrior into a Giant Bear Warrior, which will keep his keywords, but on top of that will become a 10-10. Pretty nuts considering the combination of keywords. We will start by prioritizing a lot of drop ones. We just need that huge power spike given by Raised of Giants. For this reason we are running for Druid, Elvish Mystic, Findom Elves, Landward Elves, Delight Halfling. We can also use enchantments, instant and sorceries to increase the ramp on our side. We don't need to worry about casting Wilson at turn 2. We can also wait a bit to secure its stain on the battlefield. Blackblade Reforged commands plate, Keen Sense, Stitcher Craft, and in general everything that increases our bear's deadliness is great in the deck. You can also use cards that can introduce Totem Armor to avoid Wilson getting caught into board wipes. At number 4 we have Big Bear Cycling. Finally, we add a bit of spiciness to our Wilson by making it a Goldgar deck. The pairing I want to bring you has been already used in the channel in one of our first videos. We use a deck full of cycling cards, but why? Because we want to increase our bear stats by using Criminal Past. And cycling creatures is the fastest way to both increase our Wilson strength and dig in our library for responses. However, let's analyze the pairing a little bit more. Criminal Past strength is that it gives Wilson a power buff, and at the same time it gives access to another keyword, Menace. The color black gives us access to both removals that will not be just fighting spells like in the previous case, but also we will access ways to retrieve our creatures from our graveyard. I have to remind you that edicts will always be a huge problem. If we don't consider to put other creatures in our deck, Wilson will forever be in our command zone. At number 3 we have Polar Bear. We get into the podium. In the 3rd position we see a Selesnya Wilson. The deck utilizes Veteran Soldier as a background and obviously Wilson as main character. The strategy is truly straightforward. You want to attack the opponent with the most health, aka spread Wilson love to all your friends. This way to create soldiers tokens that will be attacking each other opponent. We already brought a few matches and a deck tag for the pauper version of this deck, link in the comments. By using this deck in multiplayer commander, we will have access to a lot of cards that will grant us the upper end in the late game. For instance, Anointed Procession, Mondrak Glory Dominus, Parallel Lives and Doubling Season will help us duplicate the number of tokens created. Meanwhile, Divine Visitation, Best Soul Nourisher, Commander Insignia, Eldrazi Monument and Odric Lunar Marshal will help us scale as the game progresses, giving us the upper end on our enemies by having a huge and buffered board. At number 2 we have Frenzied Bear. In the 2nd place we have the return of a Goldgar deck. Wilson will be supported by Agent of the Shadow Thief. I have to make a bit of premises this time. First of all, is a commander that can be used, as in the previous case, for Pauper Duel Commander. However, not for 1 vs 1, because Agent of the Shadow Thief has been banned in single player matches. This deck, although, is truly strong. Even in multiplayer, the possibility to pack Wilson with 2 other keywords, Death Touch and Indestructible, make him a threat on the board. On top of that, giving it constantly a +1/+1 counter is difficult for the opponent to keep up as the game progresses. On this deck we want to run a lot of removal based on fighting the opponent's creatures. This way to capitalize even more on both Indestructible and Death Touch. Ancient Animus, Duel for Domination, and End's Fury can be good examples of fighting spells. At number 1, surprisingly, we have Looting Gentlebear. Finally, we see the holder of the first place, Wilson paired with Dungeon Delver. I know, you are surprised. I'm also surprised that my friends hate the most this deck, but whatever, what can I do? Deck doesn't really work in Pauper ADH due to the momentary lack of creatures in the green and blue colors that can both venture in the dungeon and give you initiative. The deck works great in multiplayer for 2 reasons. Firstly, Wilson is hard to remove due to Ward 2, so we can constantly capitalize on Dungeon Delver effects. And secondly, it's hard for the enemies to steal your initiative. We will always prioritize in the Undercity Forge to increase our Wilson stats. The color combination of the deck gives us access to both counters and control of our library, making it easier to us to encounter cards that will venture in the dungeon or give us initiative. Do not forget that we also have ways to blink our creatures as a form of protection for Wilson, but also as a way to trigger back initiative or venture in the dungeon. In case we are not able to get the initiative, we can always use the mechanic venture in the dungeon and prioritize the dungeon of the Mad Mage. This dungeon will not only give us the possibility for free to scry, but also will grant us card advantage, making it easier to find initiative. Many of you already will know that there is even a new dungeon, but we are reserving it for a next video, so stay tuned. In this video we will analyze it and talk about the best commanders for both PDH and EDH to abuse the dungeon mechanic, both initiative and venturing the dungeon. That said, let me know in the comment which commander is the most hated by you and by your friend group. If you made it until now, maybe it could interest you the top 5 unique commanders for Slime Against Humanity. This is all for today, but not be sad, because I will see you always in the next video. Bye!